Recently received the death certificate. Certainly that's an essential piece with charging the death of another. The death certificate did list the cause of death as a homicide.
Matthew and Samantha Dylewski, a couple out of Corinth, New York, are in big trouble after their 3-year-old daughter, Joycelynn, died on February the 19th, 2025. Police said the little girl died because she was neglected for a long period of time. She lived in a very dirty and bug-filled apartment that was so bad that the town shut it down after her death. Neighbors said that they had been warning officials for months that something was wrong. They complained about the garbage piling up and how the home wasn't safe for kids. Even with those complaints, nothing was done in time, and now people are asking why Child Protection Services did not step in sooner. The Dylewskis were also told by the judge not to talk to their other 4 kids who were taken away from them as well, but they tried to contact them anyway and got in more trouble. They went to court again on May the 13th and asked to be allowed to talk to the kids, but the judge said no. Their next court date is going to be July the 8th of 2025. Let's roll this clip.
Dakota was in court as well, bringing us the very latest.
Just under a week after Matthew and Samantha Dylewski were arrested on a single charge of criminally negligent homicide in the death of their 3-year-old daughter, Joycelynn Dylewski, they were back in court today for a proceeding that lasted just under 10 minutes. That's Matthew on the left in the Blue Giants jersey and Samantha in the middle with the glasses, headed into Corinth Town Court. They had separate lawyers, both requested and were denied a family court carve-out. This story begins on February 19th when their 3-year-old daughter Joycelynn was taken to a hospital for difficulty breathing and later died. Authorities have said that the child's death was connected to the unsanitary, bug-infested conditions inside the Dylewskis' Main Street home, leading the Corinth Codes Department to condemn their apartment and describe it as unlivable.
People want to know what happened to your daughter.
How do we know when we don't even have an autopsy?
We don't have the answers yet.
Giselle Nadeau says she lived near the Dylewskis for 2 years.
Garbage was like this deep off the floors. How can you let kids stay there? You know, and then this poor little girl dies, you know? It's sad.
Matthew and Samantha have 4 other children and were charged with 5 counts of endangering the welfare of a child on February 21st. Last week, the pair were arrested on a single charge of criminally negligent homicide after the official death certificate listed Joycelyn's passing as a homicide. Exiting the court, the couple and their cabal of supporters said the truth has yet to come out.
Get your facts straight before you report.
Tell me the facts then.
It's none of your business.
That exchange in Corinth this afternoon as a couple charged in the death of their 3-year-old daughter left court.
Kumi Tucker worked to get some answers from the parents of that child, asking directly what happened to their young daughter.
In court here today, defense attorneys asked the judge to modify the no contact orders with the children, but the judge refused. He said those orders stand. The Dylewskis spoke briefly as they went into Corinth Town Court.
It's okay. Good lawsuit on your asses.
Yep, when the truth comes out. Okay, smash that thing.
Matthew and Samantha Dylewski are charged with criminally negligent homicide in connection with the death of their 3-year-old daughter, Joycelynn. She died February 19th. Authorities say the home on Main Street in Corinth was extremely unsanitary with significant bug infestation, and it was condemned. Investigators say Joycelyn's cause of death was ruled a homicide due to complications of acute and chronic neglect, and that the child also had body lice. A judge had issued orders of protection for 4 surviving children. The Dylewskis were later charged for allegedly violating those orders.
People want to know what happened to your daughter. How do we know when we don't even have an autopsy?
We don't have the answers yet. Maybe you ought to get your facts straight before you report.
Tell me the facts then.
It's none of your business.
Giselle Nadeau was a neighbor in Corinth.
I never seen her. She never came outside. You know, I was just sharing, hey, what's up with these guys? You know, they got kids, and the kids were never outside.
She said it's horrible that nobody, including CPS, was able to prevent this heartbreaking death.
I guess the garbage was like this deep off the floors. How can you let kids stay there? You know, and then this poor little girl dies, you know? It's sad. It's sad.
Samantha's sister told me what everyone needs to know is that they are not guilty.
We're back with breaking new tales about the tragic death of a 3-year-old girl in Saratoga County.
Police revealing just a short time ago the parents of that child are charged with criminally negligent homicide. Kumi Tucker was at that news conference where police shared these new charges 3 months now after this child tragically died. Kumi.
Good afternoon, Sabrina and Mark. Well, we've been following this case since the very beginning. The undersheriff says the little girl, that 3-year-old girl, suffered such a lack of care and lived in such deplorable conditions that caused her body to stop working.
Wow.
33-year-old Matthew Dylewski and 32-year-old Samantha Dylewski are now charged with criminally negligent homicide in connection with the death of their daughter, 3-year-old Joycelynn Dylewski. She died on February 19th. Emergency crews were called to a Main Street apartment in Corinth for a child with difficulty breathing. Authorities say the home was extremely unsanitary, deplorable conditions with significant bug infestation. There were 4 other children who were removed. 2 days later, the Dylewskis were arrested. Each faced 5 counts of endangering the welfare of a child in connection with their 5 children, including Joycelynn, with orders of protection issued for the 4 surviving children. The conditions were so bad, the apartment was condemned. Soon after, the couple was arrested again for allegedly being with the children in violation of those orders of protection. Today, Matthew and Samantha Dylewski were arrested in Glens Falls, where they're staying, and charged with criminally negligent homicide.
We recently received the death certificate. Certainly that's an essential piece with charging in the death of another. The death certificate did list the cause of death as a homicide due to multiple factors, as I said earlier, acute and chronic neglect, which holds those parents responsible for that death.
And as the undersheriff also said here today, that investigation took time. It was a detailed investigation. Both people were arrested and they were arraigned and released today. They're due back in court on May 13th in Corinth. And according to family members who tell me that there is more to the story but have not yet elaborated on that, all of the children are under the age of 15.
They hate you. You're gonna die.